Welcome to Tiny Texas Living. Who says you can't live big while living tiny?
Power's out again. There's nothing going on with the weather. Power's just out. It's boiling already and it just went off. TV is on a backup battery, so it's going to do this thing until it powers down, which is fine. Welcome to Texas, where the power can't stay on to save its life and we're not connected to the national grid. Positive is, it's bright outside and I have lights galore if I need them for nighttime. I do have two Jackeries sitting here right now that are completely powered up because I was about to hit the road in my van, so they're fully charged. Technically, I have a backup refrigerator that I normally carry in my van that I can run off the power station so I can save my food. I just got in a Just Meats order, so I want to make sure nothing happens to that. It's currently in my freezer and it's closed off, so I'm going to trap as much of that cold as I can, and if it gets worse, I'll put it in my refrigerator and I'll run it off power stations. I actually have two small refrigerators that I can do this with, one that I am currently using in my van, one that I have previously used in my van, and when people ask me why I don't just get rid of some of the extra things that are in my van, it's for these reasons. I need all of the power that I can get, and I need all of the ability to keep things cool that I can get also, because without those things in the Texas loveliness, things will ruin. They will spoil, they will ruin, it will be really bad, and I'm not trying to do that right now. My aunt and uncle are nice enough that they said that they were going to be coming in this direction before this happened. I don't know if they're going to want to stick around very long because it's going to be super hot, but they were bringing some drinks from Sonic, so I'm going to be very appreciative of that. So thank you, Aunt Maggie and Uncle Neil, in advance. Well, you've already been here, so thank you after the fact for this, because it was unexpected. I was definitely not thinking that this was going to be something that I would need today, but I appreciate you guys so much. Positive note is because I usually live out of 35 square feet on the road, I have lots of portable things that most people don't have. And so because of that, I'm going to try to just stay cool. I have everything charged up again because I was about to leave. So when the power comes on, I'm going to get to recharge everything, it looks like. But for now, portable fans. I wonder if I can find my neck fan. That would be helpful. Sure enough, here it is. Let's see if I have it charged up. Please be charged. Please be charged. Please be charged. Okay, so this I have been using since last year, and okay, and then I can directionalize it. So at least while I'm walking around, I won't be super hot. Yeah. I am not happy right now. And I know there's other people who have far worse than I do currently, and I am aware of that, but there's no rhyme or reason to why the power went off today. I didn't even have big appliances going, so I didn't even have my regular air conditioner going because I had just drained my line on the outside to inside system. So the power consumption here was at a much lower amount than even normal, and yet we don't have power. It could be 30 minutes. It could be who knows when. So we have a plan. I'm going to go down to my parents' house. I'm going to take my power stations down there. We're going to plug up fans and we're all going to sit in one area so that we can cool one space. And that'll work a little bit better. Okay, taking these down to my parents' house. Truly hoping that by the time that we get this figured out, power comes back on, but just in case, I also have my fridge in here. Okay. This is what it is. This is what it is. 4:28, still no power. Fans are working pretty well. I've got everything set up with the Jackery and also with an all power. So we have lots of fans in all sorts of different directions. Plus I have this, which should last me a while longer. Yeah. Some other things that you don't think about whenever you don't have power. Flushing toilets. It doesn't work. You can't flush a toilet without the pump going to pump the water whenever you're in the country. It may work different in the city, I don't know, but flushing toilets, there's that. So yeah, lots of fun things. Again, I have all these things covered because I travel in my van. I have a portable toilet that goes with me. It's a chemical toilet. I also have a bag system toilet, so realistically, we're good. I have a really nice composting toilet at my house that I'm going to start using soon. So it is what it is. But it's now like later in the day. We've been over an hour and a half, I think, now without power. So still short-lived, but no hope in sight yet. Okay, I have a set power. I have a Bluetti. These are all power stations that I just use for various things. I need to turn this on and hold it down. And then up here, I need to set this for the lowest that it can go because I'm going to need it in freezer mode. So I need it to be at least somewhere down here. Ooh, realistically, probably more like down here. Okay. Freezer mode achieved. It's going to start cranking out, and this is going to pull about 35 watts at a time. Is this ideal? Absolutely not. This is terrible. This is worst case scenario. This is why I have power stations. This is why I have an exterior fridge. I normally am on the road about 75% of the year, and all these things are things that I use, and I'm able to charge them fully from solar. But right now, because I was doing those tests, I don't have everything charged up. So good for me. Not so much the one time that I should have had everything topped off. I do have some other power stations though, so I should be fine. I just want to make sure that whatever I have, it's able to go. Yeah, apparently there's a downed pole. It's affecting a large chunk of our region right now. And so because of that, they've said anywhere between 9 and 10 o'clock tonight. It started at like 2 o'clock. And I noticed that when I was down at my parents' house that some of the things in their freezer are starting to get soft. And so I do not want to lose the things I literally just got. So I'm going to cool them down and put them in the fridge. And if I need to, I can also use my other fridge, which is currently in the van. I just have to find another power unit for that because I took my bigger power stations down to my parents' house so that we could just stay cool using fans and things like that. So they're doing really well though, and it's just part of it. Texas power is a problem. It's a problem in so many ways. It's not just during the wintertime, it's also during the summertime. Like there's rolling brownouts, there's like just the power flickers at the drop of a dime. It's never good. Sometimes it could be off for 10 minutes, sometimes it could be off for, I think most recently some people were out of power for like days. Sometimes it's storm related, sometimes it's not. It's a perfectly sunny day. I have no idea why this power pole just suddenly became a problem. And take a deep breath. In the meantime, okay, my everything seems to still be frozen pretty good. So I'm gonna take these super frozen things and I'm gonna put them in there real quick. Okay, I've got this one going and the other one going. This is just my freezer. Everything in my refrigerator will not fit into these. I guess I'm just gonna keep the refrigerator closed and hope for the best. Like, this is ridiculous. It's literally money going down the drain if it goes bad. So frustrating. And on top of that, it's just hot. It's super, super hot. This was the temperature today whenever the outage happened. This was the humidity today when the outage happened. And I know a lot of people, when they see videos like this, are just like, oh, just move if you don't like it. That's not a logical answer. It's just not. And in this particular case, it is not the actual grid. It is the actual line itself, a pole. So that one at least makes sense. The other 55,624 off-on power things that have popped our TVs, our air conditioners, those could be prevented. Those were things where literally the state of Texas just does not fathom actual people. Because I guarantee, like, the politicians who are without power, they aren't without power for very long. They have generators, they have people who come in, they have places that they can go, and their power is always getting fixed. Because if it wasn't getting fixed, you know, they would have an issue with that, like the regular other rest of us. Fact of the matter is, it's no joke with electricity here in Texas, and not being prepared is not an option because things like this can happen. And even being prepared, I'm still probably going to lose stuff. And that's not cool. That's just not cool. I'm so frustrated right now. Like, so frustrated. I'm going to take this other power station down to my parents. And we're going to hope that we can get through the day, I guess. I don't know. I can always recharge all my power stations tomorrow during the sunlight hours. I can also charge them as I drive. So worst case scenario, I can get in my van and drive down the road and charge things up. But it doesn't fix things in the immediate. A lot of people want to say stuff about Texas's power grid is doing this because we're going away from oil and gas. That's not the case. I use solar all the time, like all the time. And literally all these power stations, that's how I fuel my adventures. And I do all that using solar. So solar, when adequate, is good. You just have to know your ratios and how much you're using. And that is a perfect thing. However, it's the combination of using the solar with the wind, with the oil and gas that is the tricky part. And because we're not attached to the outside grid, there's a lot of burden that comes down on us sometimes. And instead of fixing the burden, they just pass it on to the next group and then the next group. And fact of the matter is, a lot of the lines probably also need to be upgraded and improved. Just obviously. Last year, whenever the Texas wildfires really ravaged West Texas, they did determine that some of that was because the wires on the lines needed to be upgraded and they just didn't do it. And so there's a lot of problems at the same time. Most of the time, not a problem. But when it is, oh, it is. At least I've saved my frozen food. It's the best I can do right now. All I want to do is take a cold shower. But I can't. Because the well, it doesn't work without the power either. Good times. Okay, taking my last little bit of groceries, well, for the most part, to my parents to put in my dad's van fridge. Okay, so we have all that set up. We had some ice cream because it was gonna melt. And now I'm gonna go and try to get some cords so that we can recharge the fans and basically use them while they're charging to make it a little bit easier, because yeah, we need power, we need fans. It's just that like stagnant heat today. There's not like a lot of movement in the heat, so the fans are the only way that we're being able to like be comfortable. The heat, it's definitely starting to wear on me. Yeah, I just bought groceries, so I had a ton of stuff in both my freezer and my refrigerator, and I'm trying real hard not to just throw money away. I hate this. This is my least favorite part of the things that happen, and I am super fortunate. I'm reminding myself that I'm super fortunate that this is the worst that's happening, but at the same time, it's like, oh, it doesn't take away from the frustration that you get when something goes just off the rails. I am very blessed to have the things that I have and to be able to save some of my things through preparedness, but it doesn't make it any less stressful. And I just lost my neck fan. It just died, so I'm gonna have to charge it for a little while too. This too shall pass. This too shall pass. My life for the most part is really chill. It is very like easygoing. I just work on little projects. I live in my space. I travel in my van, which I'm sitting in, and everything is pretty good usually, but when it's not, it's not. What do they say? When it rains, it pours. Right now, it is the sunniest pour that I've ever seen. I just really hope they get this fixed, because I do have a lot of power stations, but because it's so hot, it's really gonna tax those, and I don't want to start losing stuff. We will be okay. We will be okay. Okay, so we have the Jackrate going here. I've got some lights charging because they're not planning on it being back for a while. Oh no! Okay, the set power fridge that my parents have with the freezer and also the refrigerator came in handy. So that's good. Now I can take this back to the house and put it in the regular fridge. Okay, it's just before the sun sets and the power finally came back on. It was like 80 something degrees in the house whenever the power came back on. So now I'm gonna take everything back to my tiny house and I'm gonna start charging everything up for the next issue that I have. Being prepared is super important because they guesstimated that this could take up till 10 o'clock tonight. We are very fortunate that it is like 8:30 and they got it up well before, but wow, it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot, guys. I'm really happy that I had the power stations though, because otherwise I don't think we would have been okay. I really don't. There's only so much you can do on a hot Texas day that's so sticky, because whenever you're in it, it's literally like you're drenched. Like even just standing out here, I can feel gross. It's not fun at all. But now I know that I need to get everything charged up and ready to go just in case, and I am going to put these in a place that like my family can access them, so if I'm on the road they can still have power and fans and things like that. And then I also keep a healthy amount of mountain houses because preparedness matters. So yeah. Thank goodness this is back.